I want to make it clear today that my administration will focus on ending the absolutely horrific practice of human trafficking.
I must have dreamed 1,000 dreams.
And I am prepared to bring the full force and weight of our government in order to solve this horrific problem.
Haunted by a million streets.
Solving the human trafficking epidemic is a priority for my administration.
There's too many men, too many people making too many crimes. And not much
25 million adults and children. That is the number of people believed to be exploited by human trafficking worldwide.
confusion. This is the world we live in. These are the hands we're given. You stand and let's start trying to make it a place worth living.
Without you, nothing would happen.
Oh, Superman, where are you now? And everything's gone wrong somehow. The men of steel, the men of power, losing control by the hour. This is the time, this is the place, so we look to the future. There's not much left to go around. Tell me why this is the land of confusion. This is the world we live in, and these are the names we're given. Stand up and let's start showing.
Gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
And happy Monday, guys. The weekend went way too fast. I remember looking at my girlfriend Sunday and going, we were just at a buffet Friday night at the casino. And I said, today's Sunday. It's like I just remembered it was Friday night. So my point is, it just feels like the days are going a lot faster than what I remember them to be, which is just totally amazing. I hate the fact that they go so fast that I'm always wishing the weekend's just around the corner. And I guess that's, that was my train of thought before. Just can't wait for the weekend. But now I live it like every day is the weekend for me, because I mean, being 29 years old and all, the last thing I want to do is, waste any more days of wishing the weekend was kind of here. So anyway, let's start the show off Monday night, guys, with real truth, with common sense. Obviously, probably one of the only podcasters that point out common sense in Canada, that is. I follow a few, but when it just comes to common sense, I don't know about that. So anyway, before we start off the podcast, let's see which truthers, which common sensors, the Freedom Family, our Canadian patriots, our American family and patriots, who's on the show tonight. Can't wait till Mr. Roland gets his StreamYard going, so he can start playing around with it and see how much fun it is to share videos and stuff like that. He knows my number in case he's having some trouble. So anyway, First, shout outs going out to Vincent, brother from a different mother, all the way from Rishabuktu. How you doing, Miss Yolanda? Believe it or not, Miss Yolanda, my very first girl that I kissed was grade 7, and her name was Yolanda, just to let you know. And it was, I never thought I would see another name like that, to be honest with you. So you're like the second Yolanda that I've ever known. It's not a very common name. It just brings back memories. Grade 7. Yeah. So how you doing, Gilles Bourgeois, Anna Gallant, my cousin from Shediac, Miss Joan. How you doing, Stephen? Melanie from Tennessee, Miss Therese, Annette, Mac from Ontario, Susan and Scott Dotson all the way from Texas. Hee-haw. I'm actually watching a Netflix series of high school football in Texas. Sorry, not high school, sorry. College football. I like that stuff because it's amazing how these little towns in Texas just love their football, and the high schools and the college. You guys go crazy down there. Poor kids, though, the guys that are putting themselves through that, you know, knees and broken collarbones and head injuries. I don't know how I love sports, but I don't think I could do that. How you doing, Brent from North Carolina? Miss Linda from Pennsylvania, Mr. Dale from Nova Scotia, Sean from Oshawa. What's he saying here? Yesterday was last day on Toronto Island for me. I played my metal music loud at the bleachers. I had one of the newcomers point at me and say, I don't like that music. I started bursting out laughing, turned it up louder. Yeah, dude, I mean, good for you. I don't like that music. How you doing, Roland? Miss Nancy from St. Mary's, Mo from Yorkton, Club Life Canada. Comment está, papi? I don't even, comment está? Club Life Canada. I don't know where that came from, but comment está, papi? Yeah. How you doing, Sylvia from the island? Miss Juanita, Miss Nancy, Lise Albert. How you doing, John? Miss Irene, Nancy Bouchard. Who else? Deborah, Camaro Chevy Girl from Nova Scotia. Miss Pauline Johnson. How you doing, Jane from the free state of Florida? Yeah, lucky you. Nancy, did she vote Liberal? I doubt that. I don't think anyone that votes Liberal follows me. How you doing, Annette? Miss Brenda Pryor, Eldon, Joel, brother from a different mother from Dieppe, Miss Eagles from Ontario, Dan Marsh, Muriel Dag, Genevieve from the island. Sorry, from the Rock, not the island, the Rock. Who else there? Margarita, of course. My bed, Marielle. I hope she wasn't paying attention to my first kiss. My girlfriend, you know, not that she really cares. We get a kick out of it. How you doing, Miss Jan? Who else? Michelle from Ontario. And I think that will do it, everybody, to be honest with you. Muriel, of course, from Bucktouche. Judy Ann. Marcel Robbie Show. She says, I'm honored. Sylvie and Julien Saunier. Miss Judy from Saskatchewan or Saskatoon. We'll just say Saskatchewan. Pauline Borg and Barry Smith. How you doing, guys? Anyway, to start off, I know in the past less than a week, we've been hearing a lot of stuff with Charlie Kirk. Is he alive? Is he dead? Is it a false flag? Is it a narrative? Whatever it is, I get tons of messages. The thing that we got to understand, no matter what you guys think it is or whatever you think that you're hearing and seeing, everybody can agree to one thing and one thing only, is he's never coming back. Right? We can all agree to that. He's never coming back. I don't care if he's in, custody, in protective custody, PC. It doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, he's never coming back. So either he's taken out of the movie. Either way, we'll never see Charlie Kirk again in our lifetime. So I guess that will answer the question. Everything happens for a reason. And like I said, we're still living in a movie. I'm going to play one video, guys. I'll start off with America stuff, but I'm going to play one video because a lot of people still haven't seen. If you don't think this is not a movie, if you don't think that Joe Biden was executed back in 2020, if you don't think Hillary Clinton was executed in 2017, if you don't think, what's that traitor? Come on now. McCain was executed, one of the first ones to be executed. And at his funeral, they had his flag that was over his casket was all wrinkled up, which, means traitor. But anyway, I'm going to show you a little 2-minute video, 2 minutes and 37 seconds. And it's at George Bush Sr.'s funeral. And this is what got me into this. This is what really opened up my eyes before anyone could open up their eyes. And this, I'll show this video, and it's called The White Envelopes, to show that this is a movie and that Trump pretty much give the important people, aka Democrats, and not just only Democrats. Mike Pence got a letter to an envelope, and in those envelopes literally said by George Bush Sr. before he was executed, and he was executed. He didn't die of natural causes. It literally said, they know everything. I'm sorry, they know everything. So, and the thing is people were trying to debate me on the video, but no. The person that was actually videotaping at the funeral was doing it on purpose at certain points. And those certain points was actually the person that is the film or camera guy for George Magazine. And I forgot his name for some odd reason, the Chinese guy that a lot of people say it's really Bruce Lee. Either Gene Ho, I can't believe it. Gene Ho was the one actually filming. But at the very end, I want you guys to take a very good look. All right, now picture this. For the ones that never seen the video, is take a very good look at the end of the video when they're bringing the coffin out, the casket, and take a look at the bald Secret Service guy. So literally focus on the bald Secret Service guy at the end behind George Bush Jr. You can't see him passing the envelope, but you can kind of not see it, but you can feel it that he gave him something because he leaned over. So I want you guys to look at that. And then George Bush gave it to his wife, and his wife just looked shocked, but not as much shock as George Bush's brother, Jeb Bush. I want you to take a look at his face when she shows him the envelope, and no one can ever tell me that this is not a movie. Check this video out.
This the strange scene of American nationalist President Donald J. Trump seated with the aging globalist cabal of past presidents and politicians. It was awkward. But there was something else odd going on. It was noticed that several of the globalist political players received an unexpected letter inside of their program. Hillary Clinton was the only one who kept her poker face when looking at the mysterious letter. Former Vice President Joe Biden appeared to be distressed when his wife found his. Laura Bush had a look of anger and could barely keep from staring at hers. And when she showed it to Jeb Bush, as his deceased father was being carried in front of him, he was distressed enough to take his hand from his heart, and he looked rather troubled by what he saw. The internet is abuzz with what these mystery letters are all about. Many who hope to see justice served in our corrupt American system speculate that this could be a foreboding message to America's traitorous first families. One can only hope. Whatever they were, they certainly appear to be disturbing to those who received them.
Engine won't turn and the train won't leave. I will stay with you tonight. Hold you close till the morning light. In the morning, watch you open your eyes. Just to stay. There is a truth and it's on our side. Dawn is coming, open your eyes.
So as you can see, not only was that the day, it was a 9/11 memorial in 2017 or 18. I think it was 17 when they arrested Hillary Clinton. You can't make that F that stuff up. You literally can't make that up. You've seen her handcuffed. You've seen her, the bald guy again with the Secret Service. Either way, it's not a movie no more. It's not a game no more. Sorry, it is a big movie, obviously, with the central casting that Trump's been saying 100 times. So for the people that don't think anything that's happening, it's happening around the world, not just not just in the United States. It's happening around the world. So it's just a matter of time. And I think I don't know what the outcome is going to be at the final. To be honest with you, I don't think anybody knows. I think maybe a handful of people actually know what's happening. Is the Charlie Kirk thing another script in the movie? I don't know. But at the end of the day, I just know things are going to get better, and the swamp is getting cleaned out no matter what anyone says. All right. So besides that, I got a couple things here with Trump. And one of the guys I do follow, but let's go with a couple things on Trump because he's not messing around now. But let's go with the Trump video with him basically saying, gloves are off now. It's time to take care of business.
I really shouldn't say it, but I think I've got to say it. The far right in our country doesn't exist yet. The far left, the Looney Tune Brigade, however, is quite real. Real as real gets, as serious as cancer. Cancer, not good. But people forget that I'm a moderate. Charlie was a moderate as well. But the psycho left has been poking a sleeping bear with sticks, calling the bear names, stealing the bear's wallet, and have actually begun shooting the bear. But this isn't an ordinary bear, folks. No, it's not. This, of course, is what scholars refer to as a metaphor. So, if I were a miserable lefty who hated my dad and thought John Oliver was a real looker, I'd pause here and ask myself, do I want to keep poking this bear, or do I want my face to be ripped off in a horrific bear accident?
So, yeah, he really means business. And it's like he said, they're only going to put up with so much of it. And the analogy that he said, do I want a bear to rip my face off at the end of it, kind of reminds me, maybe he's literally probably bringing that analogy up for the fact that Hillary Clinton, on the dark web, literally ripped off a little girl's face. I think she was 14 years old, literally cut her face wide open and put it on her and was dancing around, literally dancing around with the little girl, like yelling and screaming. And obviously they killed her, sacrificed her and Huma, I can't pronounce her last name, Ebedine, obviously for adrenochrome. But that's what the whole thing with what's his name, with Tom Hanks, with the blood handprint on the volleyball. And I can't remember the name of it. They had that's my kitty cat right here. He's kind of sick. He's coughing a lot. But that's what the whole analogy with the face, I guess, with the red handprint on the volleyball with the Tom Hanks movie, Survivor or Castaway. I can't remember what it was, but Castaway. So anyway, that's where that came from. I'm going to show you another Trump video, obviously, because I love the man. And I'm going to show you something else. And I'm going to tell you something about a history that nobody knows. Not one of you guys know. And I'll test you guys to see if you guys been paying attention to what's been happening around the world. But I never even knew this up until last week, thanks to Charlie Kirk, actually. But you guys are going to be very surprised. Very surprised. But anyway, we'll go with another Donald Trump video and we'll see. We'll talk about it.
With all the that's going on with Charlie Kirk's assassination and the left-wing violence going on, do you have plans, and actually this is a great opportunity with all these, do you plan on designating Antifa finally a domestic terror organization?
Well, it's something I would do, yeah. If I have support from the people back here, I think we'd start with Pam, I think. But I would, if you give me, I would do that 100%. And others also, by the way. But Antifa is terrible.
Are there other groups that you can think of?
There are other groups, yeah. There are other groups. We have some pretty radical groups, and they got away with murder. And also, I've been speaking to the Attorney General about bringing RICO against some of the people that you've been reading about that have been putting up millions and millions of dollars for agitation. These aren't protests. These are crimes, what they're doing, where they're throwing bricks at cars of the of ICE and Border Patrol. And
So yes, as you can hear from Trump, and he's going to do it, is he's going to literally deem Antifa, a terrorist group. And when that happens, poop is going to hit the fan when that stuff happens. I can guarantee you. I can guarantee that there's going to be some more stuff coming out. And he's right. Everybody knows. I'll give you an example. Just one of my guests that was supposed to, come up on my podcast last week, Joe Enjard from Toronto, that did that big rally in the park in Toronto Saturday, which was totally disturbed by a bunch of leftist crazy people. And what Joe did an interview, and Joe left out a few things because Joe likes to pretend or likes to think he knows everything. But, I've been doing this a long time. I know he just focuses on the immigrants and immigration and what it's doing. But what Joe's got to understand is he doesn't know why we're getting swarmed with immigration. He doesn't know the main reason why they're bringing in on purpose, why they're bringing in immigrants in London, in Paris, and Germany, and the UK, obviously, in the United States, but also the Commonwealth in Australia. There's a purpose why they're doing this. It's not because of Joe's thinking that Canada is just opening the doors because Canada is just opening the doors. Joe doesn't know the and that's why I want to bring him on the podcast to kind of teach him something, that it's done by design. All right. It's done by design for for many reasons. There's an umbrella of reasons, but one is to destabilize the entire economy for every country. That is the purpose of the WEF. That's the purpose of the UN. That's the purpose of the elites. But what happens when you destabilize the whole economy, then people are going to depend on the government to help them with payments and getting them out of debt and with food and stuff like that. And that's where the whole digital ID comes into it, the whole digital currency, everything. See, Joe doesn't know. I wish he did come on the show because I would have taught him. There's a whole narrative to it. And it just, but he had I would say hundreds and hundreds of people against him. And what he needs to understand, those are paid protesters to go against him by the liberal government. All right. That's what he needs to understand, is those people weren't there just because they want to save the immigrants. Those people were literally Antifa paid people. And I mean, just sometimes people think they know it all, but they don't know the big picture. Like Chris Donkey Thief Sky, he thought he knew it all, even though he was reading books about the Agenda 2030 and telling people this is what they're going to do. This is what they're going to do. But people didn't understand that there was books of them literally telling everyone what the steps were and how they were going to do it. And people thought Chris was just better than sliced bread, predicting all this stuff. No, man, it's in 3 books. It's in the 1984 by Orville. It's in the Great Reset book, and it's also in the Agenda 2021 and then Agenda 2030. I mean, you guys, not you guys, but a lot of people thought he was a smart fella. Chris is a cokehead, steroid freak, daddy's trust fund son, I guess you could say, that lives off $180,000 a year because of his dad. That's what Chris Sky is. And Chris Sky lost a lot of and got a lot of hate for what he said about Charlie Kirk the other day. So if you guys didn't see what he put, check it out on my wall. I posted it a couple days ago. That's what Chris Donkey Thief Sky is really about. And guaranteed that he's going to get a lot of people after him. Chris better hope I never see him in Colombia Apparently, he was in Colombia one time. Let's just say, Chris, don't go to Colombia, please. If I ever see you in Colombia, I have 40 acres of land. There's a lot of holes that can be dug, and life is pretty cheap in Colombia when it comes to hating people. Trust me. I've seen it a couple times of people disappearing. So please, for the love of God, don't come to Colombia. Stay in Mexico and, start giving out your diseases in Mexico. And that's enough for Chris Sky, because there might be some followers that like Donkey Thief Sky. Who knows? Either way, enough about him. Check this out, guys. I got a little secret for you. All right. And I didn't know this until I watched an episode of Charlie Kirk. And maybe it's one of the reasons why he was killed, because he was turning against Israel. Just to let you know. Like in the last couple of weeks, Charlie Kirk literally was going against Israel. And we all know, and if you don't know, you should. Israel is like the demon of all, like it's completely Satan. I don't care what anybody says, kids are dying there or whatever. It is what it is. At the end of the day, Israel and Jews are, they literally are the demons. They're not God's people, because they're representing a different God, just to let you know. They are literally the Satan's demons. And I'm going to ask you guys a couple questions, all right? And I bet you guys don't know this, because I never knew, okay? I like that, Stephen, the donkey, and he put a donkey tooth. That's good. I love that. I didn't even know there was a donkey for that. That's good. I love that. All right. No, his wife, Chris Sky's wife's not with him no more. She's on a pole somewhere in California, stripping like the place where she met him in the first place, on a pole. And trust me, I used to be friends with Chris Sky, so I know Chris's background. I know Chris's life. Trust me, I don't make shit up. I knew Chris. So anyway, I'm going to ask you guys a question, and we'll see if you guys know the answer. So the question is, besides in the past 15 years since Obama, the monkey himself, the monkey from Kenya, the fake president, what other time in history, okay, because when Obama came in, he brought in transgender, he brought in the whole pronoun crap, he brought in everything that you can imagine that represents Satan and Moloch and Baphomet, was all everything that was pre-planned by one of the worst presidents, if the second worst president. The first one was George Bush. It would have been George Bush Jr. Then the second one would have been Obama, then Joe Biden, but Joe Biden was dead in 2020. The fake Joe Biden. And then we would have went with George Bush Sr., then Clinton, because they impeached Clinton because they wanted to get him out of there. Just to let you know, there was a reason why they wanted to get him out of there. So, but check this out. There was another time in history that was completely filled with transgenderism, I guess, if that's even a word, transgenderism. All right. Now, no one knows about this, but Charlie Kirk talked about this, and it opened up my eyes because it makes a lot of sense. There was another period in the past time that there was a lot of transgender, gays, and all that in the world, just as much as what's happening today. Take a good guess when that time period was, and it's in the 1900s. So I'll give you that. It's in the past 100 years. Take a good guess. All right. Take a good guess of when do you guys think there was a good period of time where transgenderism literally rocked the nation, or rocked the country. Let's go with the country. Oh, Ray Thibodeau knows his stuff. Mo says Rome. In the last 100 years. Elizabeth says 1800. No, the 1900s. 1971. Nope. You guys are going to be amazed. Stephen got WW2. Okay, yeah, you're onto something. Yeah. Okay, I'll give you. So, how about what country? How about that? What country do you think was rocked with transgenderism? How about that? How about country? Give me a country, guys. Let's see if you guys. Not the 90s, Amy. 1929, Susan. She's getting close. What about the country? Let's give the country. Debbie got it. Germany. Germany. John, Germany. No, right? It was Germany in the 30s. Can you believe it? The 30s. Germany. Let's piece this all together here. Let's piece all this together. So transgenderism really blew up in a country called Germany that Hitler became in power and got rid of the Jews. Are you guys starting to see the picture now? Right? Because this is what happened. And then all of a sudden, when he gathered all these Jews, aka transgenderism, because he wanted to put a stop to it, not on top of getting rid of the central banking, which was owned by the Rothschilds. Because once you get rid of central banking, that's when they get the rest of the countries to go against you. You understand? So for people that say Hitler and Nazi and he did bad stuff and stuff against the Jews, you guys don't even know the real story about Hitler. All right, just to let you know, because if Hitler was such a bad person, when Hitler escaped, he went to Argentina, and most of his scientists went to the United States. That's a complete fact. All right, that's a complete fact. Hitler died in Argentina. I think it was in the 60s, but I think it was the 60s. But either way, transgender was a big thing. All right, in the 30s. Is that what it's called? Awesome documentary, The Story Never Told. So I think Debbie give you guys a documentary about the story never told. Thank you, Debbie. Is that a documentary about that? Please tell me yes or no. I like to find that out because Charlie Kirk talked about it, the 30s. So if it is, I definitely want to write that down. The Story Never Told. I got to write that down. The Story Never Told, because there is a lot behind that. Okay, perfect. So The Story Never Told is the documentary that you guys want to see about what I just taught you guys, and some of you knew it. They knew it. So yeah, it's put one to one together. So maybe Hitler wasn't the person that they made us out to be. So anyway, we'll just leave it at that. How you doing, Kathy? So, and obviously, we all know transgenderism is complete, Satanist. We all know that it's devil's work. It's representing both, female, male parts. And we know that comes from Moloch, you know what I mean? So this is all demon, guys. The whole Pride Month, which we all know represents demon in the wording. We know that the rainbow flag, the real rainbow colors are 7, but the rainbow flag and the Pride thing obviously has 6 colors, 666. We also know Pride is one of the 7 deadly sin. So yeah. Anyway, you guys are starting to learn, and I think I don't have to tell you guys about stuff like that. All right. So I don't know if you guys knew about this. All right. But something has happened in the past couple days. All right. The past couple days, something terrible has happened. Drones. All right, guys. Certain drones are getting sent off to Poland. All right. They're being sent off on Poland airspace, and Poland are shooting them down. But here's the kicker. They're literally telling Poland, all right, that it's coming from Russia. So they're trying to, poke the bear again, saying the drones are being sent by Russia, which is, guys, give me a break. Russia's not sending any drones to Poland, and I'll tell you why in a second. It's literally the Ukraine sending drones from Ukraine to try to start, a war with Poland to join them to go against Russia, like they've been trying to do, the whole NATO. So what you guys need to understand, all right, is the fact that Poland is the only country in the world, mark my words, Poland is the only country in the world that does not allow immigrants, especially Muslims. Now, they accepted some Ukrainians, they accepted probably some Russians, aka whatever, but they never accepted a Muslim into their country, all right? Which is amazing. But check this out, because I love the president. I'm going to show you the president of Poland that was in the UK this past weekend. In the UK in the past weekend, literally protesting, the Poland president protesting against the immigration in UK. Check this out.
It's 3 million of us. 3 million. Coming. It's 3 million. There you go. Zero.
You see him right there? He's the one that was doing the talking. That was the Polish president with 3 million people, even though the fake news said there was only 110,000 people. There was 3 million people protesting this weekend in UK. You guys, I don't know if you've seen it, but the videos were unbelievable of the amount of people. 3 million people that are sick of it, sick of the immigration, sick of all of it. And they protested. And you got the Poland president that flies down to participate. Man, that guy is another Donald Trump. And he literally, the news try to get him, saying they're calling him racist, prejudice, all Islamophobia, Islamophobic, all this. And he said, I don't even care what you guys tried to make me look like. He said, my country is safe. People can walk at night. There's no crime. There's no suicide bombers. You guys can pretty much go F yourself. And that's the way the country is going to be. So, I mean, if anybody wants to visit Poland, that would probably be one of the top 3 places in the world if you want to feel safe. Definitely would be Poland. I never even thought about trying to take a trip to Poland, to be honest with you. I mean, because I am going to bring the girlfriend down to see Italy, Greece, Spain, and who knows, Poland might be on the agenda. I don't know what's in Poland, but you know, with it being that safe and with no immigrants, I'd like to see that for once. I haven't seen that in such a long time, you know, being with Canada, with all the immigration down here, which is going crazy. All done by narrative, of course. All right, so there's a couple of videos I ain't going to bother sharing because I don't know what this video is. Let me play this video. I'm not 100% sure because I didn't have time. I just downloaded it, but I can't remember what it was all about. But it's only 25 seconds, so let's play it.
It's the United States ran by demons.
100%. They're involved in everything and aspects of our country. They've involved in the setup of our country. Look at this. So this is Washington, D.C. That's an owl.
Whoa.
So it's sitting on top of a pyramid. And these are all demonic sigils sitting on top of Washington, D.C. They're demonic sigils. A pentagram in the middle of Washington points to the White House. I mean, it's literally called the Pentagon. What's the Pentagon? It's the center section of a pentagram. They named it this on purpose.
There you go. That was one of the videos I just remembered that I saved. We all know this, obviously, with the Pentagon and the way the White House is set up with the. Anyway, I mean, he just explained it right there. There's just so much out there, but I mean, it's being run by demons. There was actually a video, and I should have saved it for you guys, where they were having a hearing, and one of the maybe you guys seen the video. If not, I'll try to find it. The video where one of the military guys was being questioned, and when he was being questioned by the Senate, he literally morphed into something like the one of the senators like looked at him and went. So his face literally changed, and everybody kind of went around him to try to hide him from the cameras. I don't know if you guys seen that video. If you guys haven't seen that video, you got to check it out. And if not, I'll write it down to share that video. I had it today, and I never even thought about trying to share it with you guys. But literally, it was a general for the military that his face just changed, and they seen it. The guy, one of the senators that was questioning him, and the shock in his eyes was like he couldn't believe it, and it was live. It was on live camera. So I'll try to find a video unless you guys already seen it. What's this? How could not be having this date? Heard something. Anybody know they are not letting them in? No, they're not letting them in. Whoever said Poland is letting any immigrants, Muslims in, they're not letting them in. Sorry, but I've already seen many times. I think Portugal might not let immigrants. They're not letting them in. I don't know if anyone said anything is letting them in, but they're not. Trust me. I watched enough on the Polish president building a wall. Literally, they're trying to get in, and they arrested them and shipped them back like literally the same day. But yeah, they were turned into a lizard. I mean, who knows what they were turning into, but it was pretty nasty. I'll try to get that lizard video of the general to show you guys. If you guys didn't see it, of the general. I mean, it's a great time to be alive, guys. I hate to tell you, but it really is a great time to be alive. Speaking about the immigration problem, check this out in Ontario. Ontario's going crazy. I'll show you. I think I had a picture. Check this out. Number one, 2 arrested after a knife point carjacking and home invasion. You got this fine young citizen right here who's 21 years old, which we all know that's not, that's a new Canadian. And then there was a 17-year-old right beside him. And this was on September 11th. Obviously, not too much news on it, but that was in Durham Regional Police. As you guys can see, he was trying to jack a car with a knife, all right, and a home invasion. So he got nabbed with one of those, one of those new native. I don't know what he is. If you guys know what kind of race he is, please tell me. And yeah, you're right, Irene. It was a shapeshifter. It wasn't really a lizard. It was a shapeshifter. Because they can't keep them here. And what's this? Employees at work starting to freak because they can't help to keep them here anymore. I don't know what that means, Lisa. They can't help to keep them here no more. I don't know what you mean by that, but I'm going to check this out. That's being reported too, guys. So now you got these people, Rashish Ganti you got these Indians now, and this is not a lie, guys. You literally got Pakistans or Indians, and I'm not talking about the local natives with the, wearing beaver skin. We're talking about the push start Indians from Pakistan coming down here, and they're getting Indian cards where they're literally calling themselves First Nations, as you guys can see. Certificate of Indian status, that's a federal card, and this douchebag literally got accepted, and we all know he's not paying taxes right now because of that. And guys, I know this is true. You know why I know this is true? Because I'm registered with a Métis, because I have my Métis status card. So when I renewed it in Fredericton, I went to the office, and this is not a lie. This has happened last summer, and I never went there back since. Didn't even care. Is the people working there now, and this is not a lie, the people working in that office are literally all from India. And I looked at them and I said, "What are you guys doing here working on a reserve for Métis?" And they said, "Well, we're registered Indians." I said, No. You're not the local Indians from here. You're the Indians from Pakistan, which are two different Indians. But they are literally taking up the Métis jobs of proposing that they are, and the government's accepting them at the office down in Fredericton. So I was disgusted, pretty much don't even care about my card no more. Not that I really did anything with my Métis card. I just liked it for the fact that, it was another, I guess, personal ID card. But anyway, we'll leave it to that. So check this out, what they're doing across New Brunswick. You're going to like this one, guys, for the people that live in New Brunswick. So now what they're doing in all the Francophone schools, because this is French for you people that don't understand French. What's this? Imagine this, Jeff. Jeff, a friend posted that the other day he was at the Jewish-owned restaurant, and the employees were laughing at the death of Charlie. How ironic is that? Yeah, imagine that, huh? Disgusting. Thank God I'm not near that stuff. But anyway, check this out, guys. So what they're doing in the schools, in the Francophone, which is the French schools down here, and Moncton, Shediac, and all that, is they're changing the food to be halal, Muslim, halal. All right. So all the meats in the menus, they're serving halal food. I'm not making this crap up, guys. This is how bad we literally need to get rid of these people. They're changing everything, and including the food at the colleges, and who else know the cafeterias, because obviously CCNB, which is the college here right beside me in Dieppe, literally now give up the contract that they had with the same people that they had now for 8 years. They give them up to let 2 Pakistan Indians, push start Indians, run the cafeteria through their business. Can you imagine that? fire local that have been doing it for 8 years to hire newcomers. All right, that is the stupidest thing, and there should be outrage, there should be protests about this. But you know what? We're so compliant. We're so compliant that we don't want to make a fuss and be known as racists. All right, this racist shit started back in 2015 when Justin Trudeau came into power, used the whole diversity as a strength, used the racist card, because it was all pre-programmed for what's happening today. So if anybody speaks out against immigrants, are known as racist. You know what? I'm a realist, but you know what? It doesn't matter. I'll use, if they want to use the word racist against me, I'll wear that racist badge with like a badge of honor with my head up high. Because at the end of the day, it is what it is. I'm speaking on behalf of 90% of the people in Canada, and I really am speaking on behalf. Actually, I don't even care about the rest of Canada. We'll just talk about New Brunswick for now. All right, I'm speaking on 90% of the people that I know that when I start my political party, they're going to be closet voters because they know my biggest thing is immigration. I don't care how many arrows they throw at me. At the end of the day, when it comes to the voting, these closet voters are going to know I'm right. Even though our rallies won't have a lot of people, that's fine because they don't want to lose their jobs. Either way, when it comes to the voting that day, I can guarantee you the party is going to win by a landslide, as long as the boomers, start opening up their eyes. But speaking of this, check this out about immigrants. So there's a little place in northern New Brunswick called Caracat. They are welcoming these people, and I think I talked about this the other day, but I want to really bring this out. They welcome these new people from Algeria into the neighborhood and give them $500. Now, that alone should piss off a lot of locals, all right? A lot of locals, because I don't even know what the hell that's for, all right? They get enough handouts as it is, but now the town of Caracat, which is liberal, all right, are giving that family $500. Guys, liberals. It's all about liberals. All right. It's all about liberals. And speaking of liberals, for the people in the UK, check out this. Check out this, dweeb. This is the police chief in the UK who will arrest people on social media. I'm not lying about this. This is literally, all right, is the police chief in the UK that will arrest people on the internet. All right. For talking anything bad about immigration. I mean, you could, what is this? I don't even know what pronoun this would be. All right. I don't know what pronoun that this could also, like, what is it? I don't know if it's a Pat. I don't know if it's a Jim. I don't know what it is. All I know, it's definitely liberal and it's definitely disgusting. All right. But that's the police chief of UK. You notice how most of the police chiefs now in these Commonwealth countries are all female, and they all kind of they have that same look to them. If you don't believe me, take a look at the police commissioner or the RCMP commissioner or chief of Canada, Labucky or something like that. I don't even care, RCMP, but you got to take a good look at her. Wait till you see her. No one knows the pronouns for her. Yeah, exactly. Their community standards, probably. Either way, it's a big joke. It's just, and speaking of common sense, I like this, ma'am. And the fire chiefs, oh, don't tell me they're doing that to the fire chiefs too. There should be no, I'm going to say this, and I sound like Kevin J. Johnson, if you guys ever follow him. Now I sound like Kevin J. Johnson. But as a fire person, there should be no effing way that a female should even be close to being a fire chief, no matter, I don't care what anybody says, unless you walk that front line. I'm sorry, you better not ever say to my face that a female can be a fire chief. That's all I got to say. So that would definitely show the DEI whole bullshit program narrative. If I ever found out that a female was a fire chief, I won't go any further because I have a lot of women that follow me, but we'll just leave it to that. I want you guys to check this out because this was a common sense that someone sent to me because I'm all about common sense. Yeah, Brenda Lucky was replaced by castrated DEI minion Mike DeHume. So I didn't know that. So they replaced her. Lucky. I thought it was Labuki. I don't think it's called Lucky Daily. I think it's Labuki was replaced by castrated DEI minion. I got to write that down. I want to see what he looks like. Can you find a picture of him daily and bring it up? I got to write that down because I like to see what guy they what person, not guy, RCMP. I gotta take a look to see what they have to replace it because it's definitely going to be a DEI guarantee because of the Liberal Party. But check this out. I thought it was pretty funny and it's common sense, especially for the Liberal Party, especially for the Liberal elbows up. For the boomers that voted Liberal. But I got a kick out of this one. So they've been telling us to buy Canadian. All right. They've been telling us to buy Canadian. But the problem is they don't hire Canadians. Does that make that make sense? I guess that's the best terminology. Make that make sense. All right. Does that make sense? All right. Anybody? Does that make sense? Because it doesn't make sense because we all know. So, yeah, I thought that was a pretty good joke. It was a good common sense question. Brenda Lucky. Okay, Brenda Lucky. You guys got all Brenda Lucky. Fine. Brenda Lucky it is. But yeah, it's just, I find it kind of strange and funny at the same time. That they tell us to buy Canadian products, but they don't hire Canadians. All right. And speaking of immigrants, check this guy out. This guy's got balls, and he was in Calgary or Edmonton. It was somewhere in Alberta. But check this out. You guys will laugh.
Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday. And right now, you can save £50 per person. That's £200 off for a family of 4. We've got millions of free child place.
That is funny as hell. Someone dressed up in a cow saying immigration has got out of control and is literally there by themselves. You know what? Two thumbs up for that person. I shake that person's hands because you know what? Heroes don't always wear capes. Put it that way. And, hats off to that person. And speaking of immigrants, when I told you what's happening in Toronto, check this out. And tell me if this is not, why can't this happen in front of me? I don't know. It would be a blessing in disguise. Check this out.
Let it go. Let him go, sir. Let him go. Let it go. Let him go. Let him go, sir. Let him go, sir. Back off. Sir, let it go. Let it go. Let it go, sir.
Sir, let them go. Back off.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine them yelling at him? Let them go. Talk about beta cockless, literally beta cockless, elbows up, liberal retards, probably vaccinated too. I can guarantee you that. Give me a break. That guy, if that would have been me, those 3 people would have been bleeding from their face, their arms, everything you could imagine, because I would have been boot effing them. They wouldn't have been recognizable. And especially the lady that was about to hit him with the bottle, she would have been hit like a man, just exactly. But they literally walked out with like $3,000 worth of liquor. And there's many of them. That's just one video. I had a lot of videos about these people walking in liquor stores and grocery stores and filling up their vehicles, and people are just letting them walk. When did that ever happen? When did that start? I don't even recall that. But I do recall if a white person is shoplifting, you got 2 people on his back which will probably be Pakistan now, because there's most of the security now everywhere is Pakistan, which that's common sense, way over the limit for me to even wrap my brain around that. I don't even understand how the most corrupted people in the entire world are push-start Indians, and they're the ones running the security at the malls, the security at government buildings, the security at the airports. I've always said that for the past 15, 20 years when I used to fly out. When I remember going to the airport and they would say, I need to do this to you. And I'd be like, go fuck yourself. You take your bandana off your head there, and maybe you're hiding a knife behind there. But I never used to listen to them. Even at the airport, I've always given them attitude, and I loved it. I really loved the fact that they're trying to show me authority, and I throw that authority back there, and I would tell them, go back to your country. And it felt great. What do you think they're going to do? I'm not hiding anything, so there's nothing they can do. But I send it back at them. Obviously, I can't do that in front of the girlfriend when she was with me with my son. But when I fly alone to, when I go to Colombia, it's if I ever get attitude by Indians at the security at the airport in Toronto, it's pretty funny scene. Trust me. Let's just put it that way. All right, so there's that, and there's another 15-second video. I don't know what it's about because I just downloaded it and I forgot to mark what it was all about. But I think it's about Hollywood. Check this out.
90% of Hollywood, the reason they made it was because they were forced to do some sort of child sacrificing ritual.
What's the thought process with these rituals? So, like, they burn a body. What do they expect to gain from that?
It's a sacrifice to their reptilian overlords who control them or are.
Yeah, that was I think we should know right now with the reptilians and there's a couple more different kind of races, but the reptilians are being brought up a lot lately, and the whole fact of Tartarian, and I mean, there's just so much history that's been buried over the years that I can't even wrap my brain. But it's a great time to be alive. Is the best thing to say. I mean, even though all this stuff is happening with false flags and stuff around the world, all you need to know is, like I said, good things are happening on a daily basis, and a lot of things are going to keep on happening until eventually, eventually this is all going to come out. Someone shared something with me the other day. It was with Big Daddy again. And I don't bash people besides Chris Sky, as you know what I mean. But guys, you need to stop listening to Big Daddy and this whole Nazera Jazera thing. Please, for the love of God, stop listening to Big Daddy for Nazera Jazera, EBS, 10 Days of Darkness. You guys need to stop listening to him for this. This is old news. That's not how it's going to happen. Common sense is not in his vocabulary. He's in Lulu La La Land. It's not going to happen. You cannot lock down the world for another 10 days and expect the world to actually function when people are sitting at home doing nothing except watching reruns of, all the people that's been arrested. I mean, that's just that's nonsense. All right. Just to let you know, well, Jeff, they shut it down for the whole coronavirus. No, they didn't shut the world down where we stayed home. A lot of people weren't staying home besides the elderly, and the people that vote liberal. Okay. But in this case, they're not going to stop the world from running for 10 days. That would literally be like a great reset. And that's not how it's going to be played out. Nazera Jazera is going to be played out in different forms, but it ain't going to be us getting millions of dollars up front. That's just silliness. And there's people that are dependent on that say, hey, Jeff, when are we going to get this? Because my mortgage and I'm expecting this, and what about my credit cards up? Stop depending your life on the Nazera Jazera and all that. It's going to come, and it's coming, but it ain't going to be what we think it's going to be. Let's just put it that way. We'll just leave it to that. But people are sending me stuff from Big Daddy. What do you think? And I'm just telling you how I think. You might keep on following. That's fine. But please, common sense. Use your common sense. You use this right here, your third eye, your pineal gland, and stop thinking that you're going to get millions of dollars. All right, because that's never going to happen. All right. So that will be it for tonight, guys. I don't know if Debbie shared that the documentary called The Story Never Told, I'm definitely going to watch that. So The Story Never Told, I don't know where I can see it. Probably on YouTube. I'm going to look for it, about Hitler, transgenderism in the 30s. I'm definitely going to find that video. And if someone's got that video, please either share it on my wall, right? Share it on my wall, or send it to me in my messenger. All right. Share it on the wall or send it in my messenger. I can't share it because if I share that video, I probably will get my account banned, because once I shared something about Hitler and they literally canceled the whole account. I had to start from scratch again. That's how much they're trying to hide the whole Hitler thing. And trust me, they know what the truth is, and I'm starting to know what the truth is. But we'll just leave it to that. All right. So the closing out. I had a video that I want to play for you guys. I'm going to play this video to close out. It's a little Donald Trump with Central Casting, but it's got some music to it. So I have to play it at the end, because if I play it at the beginning, it'll mess up my whole podcast. I love you guys all. We'll see you guys back. Now pay attention. Thursday, I usually do my podcast Thursday, and it's usually at 9 o'clock. Now, guys, I have to do my podcast Thursday, but I got to do it at 7:45. So remember, 7:45 this Thursday, 7:45, which would be, Atlantic time, and it'd be 6:45 would be, Central time. So 7:45 Atlantic time, 6:45 Central time, just for you guys to know. But if you missed the show, it doesn't matter. The link will be up there to watch it. It's just, I just got dabbed into refereeing Thursday night, which just came to me about an hour before jumping on. So the show will go on. It's just going to be an hour and 15 minutes earlier. So 7:45 Thursday night. I love you guys all. Here's a little Central Casting with Trump with a little music. I love you guys. We'll see you guys back Thursday. And like Don Cherry would say, you people hold that line. And adios, amigos.
In my former life, I was an insider as much as anybody else. And I knew what it's like, and I still know what it's like to be an insider. It's not bad. Not bad. Now I'm being punished for leaving the special club and revealing to you the terrible things that are going on having to do with our country. Because I used to be part of the club, I'm the only one that can fix it. I'm doing this for the people and for the movement, and we will take back this country for you, and we will make America great again. Many of my friends and many political experts warned me that this campaign would be a journey to hell. Said that. But they're wrong. It will be a journey to heaven, because we will help so many people that are so desperately in need of help. Our movement is about replacing a failed and corrupt, and when I say corrupt, I'm talking about totally corrupt, political establishment with a new government controlled by you, the American people. I didn't need to do this, folks, believe me. Believe me. I built a great company, and I had a wonderful life. I could have enjoyed the fruits and benefit of years of successful business deals and businesses for myself and my family, instead of going through this absolute horror show of lies, deceptions, malicious attacks. Who would have thought? I'm doing it because this country has given me so much, and I feel so strongly that it's my turn to give back to the country that I love. The corrupt political establishment is a machine. It has no soul. I knew these false attacks would come. I knew this day would arrive. It's only a question of when. And I knew the American people would rise above it and vote for the future they deserve. The only thing that can stop this corrupt machine is you. The only force strong enough to save our country is us. The only people brave enough to vote out this corrupt establishment is you, the American people. We are going to have a policy, America first.